Good afternoon, Generals family. I hope you're doing well. I hope if you worked today, you've had a productive work day. And I know I've been able to check a few things off my list that I didn't get to this week. And so if you didn't, I hope your day was relaxing. I want to thank Dr. Royster for sending out the email. It's always nice to be able to leave an hour early. So we certainly appreciate that. But want to talk with you just for a few minutes about starting fresh and moving into semester two. As we look at the upcoming schedule, of course, Tuesday and Wednesday we'll administer final exams, second and fourth block on Tuesday, and then first and third on Wednesday. We'll start Thursday with a brief advisory period where we'll all get together with your advisory group just for 5 or 10 minutes to distribute those schedules. And then we'll move forward into first block from there. Do want to remind you that you'll have a paper copy in your box of attendance. Because of the shift from the snow days, we'll need to take paper attendance on first and second block. We'll have some students that will come around to your room and we'll pick those up. So there's no need to worry about getting those down or sending students out of class down to Ms. Smith. So just want to remind you of that. I want to challenge you with 3 things today as we move into semester 2. The first one is to just think about and reflect over the weekend and in the upcoming couple of days, what are 1 or 2 instructional practices that you might change in your classroom as you move into semester 2? It could be a lot of things. It could be your learning environment, your engagement with students. You might decide you want to do a ticket out the door 2 out of 5 days every week for the semester. Or you might decide that you want to really work to make connections with your students and you want to attend 3 or 4 extracurricular activities. Any of those things, just 2 or 3, or excuse me, 1 or 2 small things, changes that you'd like to make. I'm a firm believer in the concept of the book Good to Great, that the difference in good and great is very small. And so we need to continuously be reflecting on our instructional practices and the things that we do inside of our classroom. I know we've been having these conversations as an admin team too. What are 1 or 2 things, 1 or 2 little minor adjustments that we can make as we start fresh into second semester to improve the environment, to improve teaching and learning in our building. So we've been thinking about that. I would encourage you to think about that as well. So that's number 1. Number 2 is taking a risk. And I think I challenged you with this around this time last year. Is there a risk that you're willing to take? Something that you've not been able to do, or maybe haven't had the time to do. It could be in the form of a lesson on project-based learning. It could be in the form of a professional development. Maybe you want to implement Google Classroom and utilize that for second semester. What is something that you've been kind of putting to the side, but you think in your heart of hearts might be in the best interest of our students and their engagement and their learning? And so I'd encourage you to just think about that, maybe jot it down on a piece of paper, and somewhere over the course of semester 2, try to take that risk and see what it looks like. And there's a fear of failure there, and we all have that. We certainly don't want things to go wrong, but I think sometimes we let that hold us back, and we really may be able to create meaningful and engaging educational opportunities for our students by taking that risk and pushing forward with something that we want to do and we've wanted to try for a little while. So lots of different possibilities and ideas there. And then number 3, the final one that I think is foundational to our school's success and will continue to be, is in terms of collaboration. How will you improve your collaboration? I had a chance to meet with the science department, and over the next couple of weeks I'll be meeting with all of our departments to talk about PLCs and what they look like and where we are and how do we make sure we're laser focused on what we need to do there and then continue to push our groups forward. So I'd ask you to sort of check any excuses you might have at the door and to listen and to think about how can you, as an individual member of a PLC, push your PLC forward a little bit this upcoming semester in terms of collaboration, in terms of what you're doing. I think that's, again, an important piece of what we do, and it always will be an important piece of what we do. And again, even in that science meeting, we've been challenged as an admin team with some ways, some things that we could do to help. So as you're having those conversations, as you come to that meeting, if you're not a member of science and you're coming in the next week or so, think about what are the things that the admin team can do to help. That's our sole purpose. Our number 1 purpose is to create a good, strong, and solid learning environment for you to do your thing. And so if we say that PLCs are a primary component of that, we want to hear your feedback as well. So if no matter what that is, don't be afraid to say that. We may or may not be able to accomplish it. We may need to get a group of people together to help us accomplish that. But how can you push your collaboration forward a little bit this upcoming semester. So again, 3 things that I'd like you to reflect on and try to think about as we move into semester 2. Such a great time. Block schedule, in my opinion, is great. And it really affords us this opportunity to start fresh. These students don't know you. For the most part, you don't know them. They have no preconceived ideas of what your class is supposed to be, and you have no preconceived ideas of how they're supposed to perform. And so really is a fresh start for everybody, and we look forward to it. I know our brand new teachers oftentimes look forward to it in terms of some things that they wish they would have done differently. And so again, reflect on 1 or 2 things. Number 1 or 2 things that you might be able to do differently, specifically instructional practices that you might want to improve on. And then number 2, is there a risk you're willing to take over the next semester? And then number 3, how can you as an individual PLC member push your PLC team forward in terms of collaboration, ultimately for the success of our students and the betterment of our students. So great first semester. I appreciate the work that you've done. I really am looking forward to semester 2 and celebrating the things that we see throughout the course of the semester. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you.